out there. A couple housekeeping rules real quick, and then we will get started of why we're all here. Just real quick, there's exits here, and then a lot of you came in the front doors over here. There are restrooms right around the corner here on this main floor. There's additional bathrooms downstairs also, so if you need to use the lavatories, there's one on this floor or down below. Please silence your cell phones. I know that it's sad that we have to say that, but please do so. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the candidates. Tonight you'll have from 5 to roughly 6 o'clock will be our mayoral candidates, and we will have some questions that we will ask them, and we'll do that until just shy of 6 o'clock, and then we will do a quick transition and have our city council friends come up, the candidates from District 1 and District 5. So that's how that's going to work tonight. We have Claudia Weathermon from Terry Riley, and we have Teddy Feinberg from the Idaho Press that will be our moderators. And then up here in the front, my bodyguard and timekeeper is Chelsea. Chelsea will be keeping us on track tonight with timed for the answers on the questions. And so the participants, if you'll follow the cues here from Amanda and Chelsea, that will help keep us on track with time. I just want to do a quick shout out. This evening is put together because we have a committee. Our government relations committee here at the Nampa Chamber is chaired by Jeff Agenbrod, and we meet once a month, and the whole goal of the committee is to get to know your government better. So we do a deep dive on everything that you could think of as far as elections and process and dates and everything in between. So watch for that. How tonight came together is, one, we moved into a new building, so welcome. And we moved into the building for, yes, we can clap. It is exciting. I was talking with somebody beforehand, and they said, how come you didn't do this at City Hall? And I said, because we can do it here, and this is a neutral playing field. And so this is kind of exciting for us. So thank you for your patience in our first one. We sent out the questions that will be asked tonight to the business community. We are a Chamber of Commerce, so obviously our goal is business related, but everything around that with healthcare and education and city and government. So we got the questions from the business community. Just as a heads up on that, a public thank you to the Idaho Press, City of Nampa. I know Amy and Mayor behind the scenes helped us, and the Idaho Press. So thank you to them for helping with that. Brad Ellsberg will be, this is being recorded, as I said, on Facebook, and then it will be pushed out onto our channels afterwards on YouTube and on Facebook. So there's a QR code up there. Basically, at the end of the day, make sure you scan that QR code. It'll take you directly to our page. Jill has done a phenomenal job on this. It basically has everything you need to know with the upcoming elections. So there's a voter's guide, there's an advocacy and elections page, an elected officials directory for all the different levels of government locally and throughout the state. The answer to the test, my friends, is for everybody in here to be educated and then go out and vote. Our voter turnout is not what it should be, and we need to increase that. So hopefully the goal is tonight that, wow, it's a packed house too, that 75, 100 people go tell their family and their friends, and you get educated, and then we turn the dial and get more people out voting. So that is the goal, is to get people educated. And everybody always asks, well, who's running and why are they running? Well, hopefully tonight you walk away and these individuals are able to tell their story of why they're running. I think that's it from me, other than make sure you get the link. I want to do a public thank you to all the candidates that are running. All of us have no idea how hard it is to run for an elected position. Very brave, very vulnerable. So no matter win or lose, on all levels, everybody that is running, yes, let's give them a hand, everyone. So again, as people walked in from 5 to 6 will be the mayoral candidates, and then we'll do a quick transition, and we'll do District 1 and District 5. Those are the people that are up for our local elected positions. We have 3 individuals up here today. I will own this and say we had a miscommunication. Susie Robinson is here. We had a miscommunication, Susie, so our apologies. We did not know that you were going to be here, so she's not going to participate in the form here. However, we will make sure and send the questions out to her and put that out on our website, so that information will be out there for you guys. So that is a miscommunication, and we apologize for that, but she is here, and we'll get her information out to you guys. That being said, I think my job is done with housekeeping rules. Again, restrooms around the corner. Please make sure your cell phones are silenced. Last thing I'll leave you with is respect, respect, respect. That's what we do here in Nampa, so let's keep it at that. Again, very hard to get up here and tell your story in a short amount of time, so I ask for everybody in the crowd to keep everything respectful, and I know that you will. And we have 3 fine gentlemen back there in police uniforms to keep us under control. So with all of that, I think I will turn it over to Claudia and Teddy, and they'll lead us through our forum. So thank you.
Thank you all for taking your time to be here tonight and those joining us on the live stream. And I'm thankful for technology as well. So people that couldn't be here or watch during this time period will be able to watch the recording of it. I am a citizen of Nampa and actively involved in the community. And I'm so grateful for the people that are serving us now and that are brave enough to go through the campaign process and that want to serve us in the future. Like I was talking about with Mrs. Z, it's not only important to vote, it's important to be an informed voter, to know who you're voting for and what they stand for and their vision. Does it match with yours and what you want? We are the government, and so we need to take that responsibility to be informed voters. So thank you for being here.
I agree with everything she said. Thanks for being here. It's a big night. Thanks to all the candidates. And shall we get started?
We should. We don't have to do very many introductions because the candidates kind of will introduce themselves based on our questions.
Which leads us into question 1. Please tell us who you are and why you are running for mayor. And we will start to the left with candidate Justin Buckles.
Well, thank you. Is this thing on? Can y'all hear me out there?
We should add, you have 60 seconds to answer this question. We're very timed tonight, so 60 seconds as soon as he begins.
I'm not very tech savvy. Y'all got me now?
Okay.
Well, I agree with everything Claudia said. I'm just going to go off of Teddy here. I'm a citizen of Nampa, and I feel that wow, this is nerve-wracking, isn't it? Well, I'm running because a lot of people have told me that they don't feel like they're heard and that the government doesn't do what they're supposed to do. Well, I've tried to steer people the other way. I do not like that feedback. But can I get a little technical help here?
That's not my forte. You got to speak into the mic really close, real tight.
They're working on it.
Okay, they're working on it.
That's better.
Okay, so sorry about all that. Anyways, I want to do an open door policy when it comes to city government. Basically, if you want to come in, you want to file your grievance, do it. We'll get you over to the correct people, not just push you around.
On to Rick Hagabong.
Hi, thank you, Claudia, Teddy, Senator Agenbrod in the Legislative Affairs Committee, and Mitch Meditti in the Chamber Committee. It's amazing to see such a packed house, and this is great. This is what makes America great. I am first and foremost a Christian, and secondly, I'm a husband to Mimi for 23 plus years. We got married in 2002. Blessed to call her my wife. I'm a father to 5. I have 3 present in the back. They're getting some homeschool credit being here tonight. I'm a grandfather to 1, and we moved to Nampa in early 2008, so it's been 17 plus years of living in this community. I was once a member of the Idaho Press editorial board. That was sort of a gateway to seeking public service, because everyone said, Rick, you read a lot and you have an opinion about everything. And most of the times it's a good opinion. So why I'm running for mayor, I want to pursue public service in the city that we love and call home. I have a track record of helping serve in the public and improve things, and look forward to bringing that to the city. Thank you.
And candidate Eric Myricks.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudia, Teddy. Thank you, Mitch, Jill. Thank you all for being here. It's such a pleasure. What a packed house. My name is Eric Myricks. I'm married with 2 boys. My wife, Leslie, right here in the front row. She was raised in Idaho Falls. So I'm going to take this from our current Mayor Kling. When you marry an Idahoan, the rest is history. I have a 19-year-old boy who goes to the College of Idaho playing football for the Yotes. He's a freshman, and we're very proud of him. And Leslie and I have a 19-month-old. So you can imagine where my head's at. We're raising our family in Nampa. I've been very fortunate in my background, a large career in the entertainment world, been very successful. 22 countries, I've been in every state in this country, 22 countries around the world. And I've learned that we have so much more in common than we have different. I'm a global brain health advocate, chairman of a nonprofit organization that brings...
I'm sorry, we're going to have to we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Yep.
But that's why I'm running.
Yeah. You'll probably have more time to sneak some stuff in there. So this second question, it's going to be a challenge, but it's 30 seconds. We want to get real specific here. Share a brief overview of your history in Nampa and your involvement in local organizations. Your history in Nampa and your involvement in local organizations. 30 seconds to answer, and we'll start with Rick Hogerbaum.
All right, 30 seconds. I already mentioned I was a member of the editorial board, was a pastor. I was a board member of Lifeline Pregnancy Care Center, and also got to serve as the executive director of Lifeline Pregnancy Care Center. We helped start the Nesting Place, which is a maternity home to provide housing for women facing an unexpected pregnancy. I served on city council, served as chief of staff, currently serve as Canyon County clerk, and my time's about up.
Good list, good list. All right, again, Mr. Myricks, it's your history in Nampa and your involvement in local organizations.
This is quick. I'm not a part of the status quo. I'm raising a family. My son goes to College of Idaho right here in Canyon County, and we have a 19-month-old. I've been doing a lot of work in the brain health and wellness area, not just locally, but also nationally, as it pertains to Boise, in terms of the whole Treasure Valley. And so I am working and living in this city, and again, I've been raised in a family, so okay. now I'm involved in politics.
All right. And Mr. Buckholz, again, your history in Nampa and involvement in local organizations. 30 seconds, please.
Well, I'm the president of a bowling league. I've been a blue-collar worker my whole life. I've worked in the oil fields. I've worked construction. So I don't have a lot of organizations that I've dealt with, but I love Nampa. I've been here since 2008 originally, moved out, and then came back. Love it here, and I'm ready to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. The city of Nampa has over 700 employees with a budget of $310 million. What qualifications and experience do you bring to managing both people and resources at this scale? You have 90 seconds to answer this question, and we will start with candidate Myricks.
Well, our foundation works with national foundations like the Global Brain Health Institute, Alzheimer's Society, the national chapter, and also Alzheimer's Association, the national chapter. Also, founder of a tech company. So managing large groups of people is something that I'm very comfortable with. I also work with large institutions. I work with the leading scientists at UCSF. One of my mentors is the head of the Memory and Aging Center when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia, Dr. Bruce Miller. So I work at the institutional level, also in business, consulting. So what I do is I bring people together. I have a very good knack for finding talent, leveraging talent, leaning into innovation. That's what I do. So when it comes to business and managing teams, that's a great asset that I bring to the table.
We will move on to candidate Buckholz.
Could you restate the question one more time, please?
No problem. The city of Nampa has over 700 employees with a budget of $310 million. What qualifications and experience do you bring to managing both people and resources at this scale?
Okay, well, most of my life I have been around oil field workers, so they're really easy to manage. You tell them to get to work, they get to work. But as for managing a city, I haven't done that, so I can't answer the question on how I would manage that until I get into it and surround myself with leaders who have been in the business for a long time. Running as mayor doesn't have the power. The people have the power. The council has the power. I'm just the one who makes the last decision. So to tell you that I can manage people, but as for money-wise, no, that's why we have accountants to do it properly.
And candidate Hagelbaum, 90 seconds on it.
Yes. Very good, important question. I appreciate what Mr. Buckholt said. There's an important balance between the role of mayor and city council. City council is responsible for making important decisions to guide the budget, land use decisions, ordinances. The mayor is mostly an administrative role. The chief administrative executive officer of the city is important to make sure that you're bringing public administration skills to that office. As the county clerk, I am the chief financial officer. It's one of the many responsibilities I have. We have restored our Excellence in Financial Management Award at the county this past year after a year of it being lapsed. I reconcile millions of dollars of the county's budget and oversee over 100 employees at the county. If you count all the election employees, and I think there's some here, poll day workers, we have hundreds of poll workers, and we've been able to increase polling locations from 21 and 22 to 45 and 24, which was the first election cycle. We more than doubled our polling locations because we were able to recruit more poll workers. So I have a track record of being able to help inspire and recruit people into public service. Also, risk management is an important component. When I was with the city, honored to have served as chief of staff for Mayor Kling, one of the focuses was risk management. We were able, through ICRAMP, to reduce our loss ratio year over year and was awarded the risk award in Excellence in Risk Management Award. And we were able to realize lots of savings to the taxpayers because of our great job working on risk management. Thank you.
Okay, our next question is, if you were elected, what would be your top 3 priorities and why? Your top 3 priorities and why. You have 90 seconds to answer this question, and we'll go ahead and start with you, Mr. Buckholz.
Oh, well, first is communication, transparency. As I said earlier, you gotta trust your government. A lot of people don't. But there's got to be communication. A lot of the times we don't know what is going on because the communication is on either one website or there just so happens to be a poster put up. So communication, transparency is going to be my first one. I know that the Nampa PD is understaffed, severely understaffed. And so we need to get them back up to where they need to be without just taxing the crap out of the taxpayers. We can't do that. We got to find a way. And then we got to revitalize downtown. Downtown has fallen into shambles. The sidewalks aren't up to code. The business owners they're struggling because the rent keeps going up and nothing's being done. So downtown revitalization, transparency, and getting Nampa PD where they need to be. That's my top 3 to start.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to Mr. Hagelbaum. Your top 3 priorities for Nampa and why.
All right, thank you. So number 1, public safety. If we don't have a safe neighborhood, then everything kind of hinges on that. And so I'm thankful for Chief Huff and our command staff, the brave men and women who serve in PD. We have a great culture in Nampa PD, and we're blessed to have a good police department with a good, healthy culture. And you could hire more people, but it's about hiring the right people and making sure you have a healthy culture. And so I think keeping our public safety men and women and feeling that they have the support of the mayor and city council is important. Secondly, traffic congestion. We have a saying, time is money, and we say that time is the most valuable asset. And so I like to quantify things. 80 seconds, if we add 80 seconds a day in our commute, that comes out to a little over 8 hours a year, and you lose 1 day a year in traffic congestion, just at 80 seconds a day. And so I think we need to work hard. We did have a bond last year that failed because it didn't hit the supermajority, but it got 57% of the public said they're willing to pay a little more taxes to get maybe a day a year back in their lives. And I think that might be potentially a good trade-off. We need to scale back potentially that bond and do a supplemental levy request. And thirdly, recreational opportunities is really important. I've heard from so many parents who care about their kids having good fields to play in and for our Parks and Rec. Thank you.
All right, and we'll let Mr. Myrex go. Top 3 priorities and why, 90 seconds.
I've talked to, I'm knocking on about 1,500 doors thus far, out there doing the work, talking to people. Our seniors are feeling very vulnerable. We have 1 in 5 that will be 65 by 2030 right here in Nampa. As you already know, we work in the world of our senior care, and that's very, very important to me, making sure our seniors are heard. Also, our rising generation. My son is going to College of Idaho. Can I get him into a house in the next 8 to 10 years? Right now, he can't do that. Child care burden, I'm talking to people. They're hurting. Young families can't even think about a house because of the child care burden. One person's working, and then she's working at night, many times the mother. That's an untenable situation. We have young kids right now. We had 12,000 kids up to that are going to school right here in Nampa, food hungry. That's unacceptable. We have to lean in and take care of these kids. It's personal to me. So that's why those are my 3 main things. And we got to get a downtown that starts to flourish. I'm talking to the business owners and they're hurting. Lack of vision. Got to lean in on vision and innovation. How about an ag and a tech hub? Let's bring prosperity to Nampa. Let's make money.
All right, next question. Nampa is among the fastest growing cities in Idaho. How would you approach managing this growth? We will start with Mr. Hogebone.
Yeah,
60 seconds to answer.
60 seconds. All right, this is top of mind for everyone. We're going through a comp plan update. I don't know if any of you have done the survey yet. It's out there, so please provide input. It's really important with the Local Land Use Planning Act that the laws on land use govern the way in which we make decisions and land use decisions. We really need to make sure that the comp plan reflects the priorities of the community and how we grow. It's a guide to how we grow. One thing that I want to incorporate in our comp plan is a fiscal impact analysis. It's similar to what we do when we establish impact fees to make sure that the growth portion pays its increment of capital needs. But the other thing is they pay taxes every single year reoccurring, and we need to capture the full picture of the revenue generated from our growth relative to the cost of providing services. So that is one of the main parts of my platform, is to bring fiscal impact analysis to how we grow. Thank you.
We'll move on to Mr. Myrick. 60 seconds to answer this question. Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
Nampa is among the fastest growing cities in the state. How would you approach managing this growth?
Well, I think when you talk about fiscal responsibility, I believe in being fiscally smart. But we are not, as a city, leaning into AI technology to support managing finances. We are so behind when it comes to AI and tech. We are in the dark years, and we can use that tech to help drive efficiency. We also can look at a special tax district for new developments. We bought a new house up on Franklin, and you folks know you're paying for other people moving into this city, and it's not fair to you to do that. A special tax district, for example, for new developments. and the builders would have to supplement that, and they get that money back over time. We need to think about infill growth, build up. You know, you got buildings downtown, you can build, condos and apartments on top of commercial properties. Let's build up. Do we want to be a bedroom city or a city where you can work and live? I want to be in a city where we can work and live.
And Mr. Buchholz, would you like me to repeat the question?
Please.
Nampa is among the fastest growing cities in Idaho. How do you plan on managing this growth? And you have 60 seconds to address this.
Well, I can give you the answer. Growth needs to pay for growth, or we need to put on impact fees. Once again, this is not one of my fortes. So Rick works with this stuff all the time. He's very knowledgeable about this. I'm a construction worker. I'm a regular guy. So, once again, I have to surround myself with leaders who know that industry. You want to know how to drive a truck? I'll teach you how to drive a truck all day. You want to bowl? I'll teach you how to bowl. You want to work hard and have your joints hurt every day? I can teach you how to do that too. But I am a regular guy, and if I become mayor, I have people that are going to be brought in. I'm going to surround myself with people in industries that are experts on it, not just go off of what I want.
Okay, our next question, 60 seconds, a minute to answer. How do you plan to be accessible to citizens and engaged with the community? How do you plan to be accessible to citizens and engaged with the community? 60 seconds to answer. And we will begin with Mr. Myricks.
Thank you for that. Well, look at my social media. My social media numbers are off the charts, just in this campaign alone. Accessible to community, 1,500 door knocks. That's accessible to the community. My background in media it sets me up for being able to communicate real time with you. You're going to know real time what's going on with your mayor, the day in the life of the mayor, speaking direct to camera. None of our candidates have spoken direct to camera to you during the campaign. It's very important. It's 2025. We got to lean in on technology, lean in on social media. Let people know what's going on in your city. Open forum. Once a month, I'm going to have a day. Half-hour increments. Come and talk to your mayor. I'm going to be out in the community. Back to the thing of making sure that you run a city, you have a CFO, you have a council. Your mayor needs to be present and front-facing in the community. And I think there's some situations that have happened as of late that can...
Okay. We'll move on to the next candidate, Mr. Buchholz. I'll repeat for you. How do you plan to be accessible to citizens and engaged with the community? You have 1 minute.
Well, as I said from the beginning, I'm going to have an open door policy. Any citizen can come in, they can file their grievances, and if they want to talk to me, they're going to talk to me. You may not like the answer that I have, but you're going to know why you got that answer before you walk out that door. You're not just going to be pushed off to the side. And as for social media and stuff like that, some of us weren't raised on it. Some of us don't use it. As a mayor, we would use it to get messages out there, but we don't have time in the day to just go out and make videos all day. We have things to do. I got a family to feed just like everybody else. So, I can not talk to the camera or I can talk to the camera, but my family comes first.
Okay, and we'll wrap up with candidate Helga Bohm.
Yeah, great question. I have a few thoughts. One, I think I'll just piggyback off our police because they do a great job of engaging the community and do some co-joined efforts with our police, which has taken place to a large degree. I also think Nampa's blessed to have Amy Bowman, I think the greatest communications director in the state. And I think that we can sit down, brainstorm ways in which we can communicate better with the public. I want to hit every HOA if they would have me as mayor, to come to all the HOA meetings. So I'm putting that out right now. I would love to I'll drag Chief Huff along, and we'll come to your HOA meetings and try to hit all the HOA meetings within the 4 years and rotate through the HOAs. It's important that we do these connections with the community to hear what their needs are, whether people are speeding through their subdivision too quickly or the other needs, and it's more important that we respond with what we're doing to respond to the public in those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. We're going to start with candidate Buckles. 60 seconds. In today's polarized political climate, how will you encourage respectful dialogue and maintain civility?
I'm sorry, you cut out at the very beginning of that. I did not hear the first word.
No problem. It was a bowling question, actually, so I'm joking. In today's polarized political climate, how will you encourage respectful dialogue and maintain civility? And you have 60 seconds to answer.
Okay, can you put that in layman's terms? I mean, as I said, regular guy. Communication. This is it, guys. This is what I am. I'm nice to you. I'm friendly. I'm nice to everybody. But you gotta be you when you run for this. You can't be just throwing out whatever the people want to say. Then you're not getting an educated vote. And that's what we need to do. We need to communicate more and just be ourselves.
Candidate Hogaboam.
Yeah, great question. Since there's limited time, I'll say another priority of being mayor is I look forward to working with the Mayor's Teen Council. We've had such enriching, fulfilling times when I was chief of staff working with the Mayor's Teen Council. And we take a cohort of high school students and we model for them every month what it means to do civic engagement in a civil way. And we have kids from diverse backgrounds who gather in those meetings. I look forward as mayor to spending quite a bit of time with the next generation of youth, to have an internship program in the mayor's office, and to see our youth watch us by example and to lead by example. So the Mayor's Teen Council, the internship program, there's a lot of potential for us in the mayor's office to lead by example with the next generation of youth.
And Mr. Myricks.
Yeah, piggybacking on Mr. Hogaboam, our youth leading our future is so crucially important. I love sport, but I also see the value of the cultural arts. We're not maximizing the Civic Center. We can have touring shows coming in from all over the country. We have some shows, but it could be better. I want to make sure that we recognize that leadership starts at the top. When I say I've been around the world in every state, I connect with human beings. My dad was a school teacher. This kind of culture is so crucially important. A culture that brings people together. A unified Nampa. There is a culture of cronyism here in Nampa. Let's face it, it exists. And we need to eradicate that. We really do.
Your time is up. All right, the next question. This is long in its phrasing, so I'll help you along. But the Idaho legislature determines how our cities collect revenue. So how would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents? This is a minute and a half, which is generous from this crew. So I'll say it one more time, and we will begin with candidate Hogaboam. The Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. So how would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
Great question. We have property taxes, and we also get a share of sales tax, and it's a surprise to a lot of people that we don't do point of origin sales tax revenue. So we don't get a distribution based on how at point of origin generation. And so when you have Nampa, that's a full service city and generating a lot of revenue that's going back to the state. I've crunched the numbers. We don't get back as much money based on the per capita formula that we send to the state. And so we're carrying, the Treasure Valley is carrying the rest of the state to a large degree. I know it'd be a big lift, but I think to reevaluate the way in which revenue is distributed so that a city like Nampa that through its land use is a full service city gets to benefit from the revenue it generates at a larger share than just the per population count. I think that we've talked about 389 in the press. Some of you are familiar with House Bill 389. It was well intended to provide property tax relief, but it says the more you grow, you don't get 100% of all the dollars of the new increment. That has created challenges where you're having to service more with less. Now, Nampa has done a good job in a 2-year, 3-year increment of realizing and increasing efficiencies, but the pain point is when you start trimming the fat and then you start trimming into the bone, how do you provide services to not compromise quality of life? And so my hope is to work with the legislature to reevaluate how some of these formulas work so that Nampa citizens can benefit from the revenue we generate. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And candidate Myricks, I'll repeat for you. The Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. How would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
Well, I think you have to lean in on innovation. Look at the model that currently exists and do more. I think Rick makes some great points. But we have industries that need to be mined, new industries for innovation and growth. I like to see an ag and health tech hub here. We can make investments as a city, and I think if we help incubate new technology that serves our community, we can get a piece of that action. I think a film commission is a new industry. We have all of the backdrop for filmmakers to come. I know filmmakers that want to come shoot in Nampa. There's a lot of residual income that can come. We can, kids from CWI, kids from NNU, we're creating industry and opportunities for these kids to work on crew. We're feeding them, we're housing them. It's a new emerging industry. Tourism, we could be a great way to wine country. We're not tapping into tourism. We're not a destination. You see, we can cut. We can cut ourselves into oblivion, or we can look and scale current industry and continue to create new industries that have such residual opportunity for profit. So, again, let's prosper.
Thank you. And finally, candidate Buckholz, the Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. How would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
Well, this is another one that's not my forte, but, Rick is well versed in this, and I will give it to him. He knows this. But, as of working with the legislatures, I'm not afraid to sit outside their door. I did it to Mayor Kling just to get her attention, and things worked out. Some people in here know what I'm talking about, and we'll leave it at that. But we finally got to chat. It's one of those, I'm gonna get all the information. I'm not gonna just take this little piece here and this little piece there and just go run to the legislature. I want all the information. Therefore, when I go talk to the legislature, if they ask a question, I have the answer. So that's how I would do it. And, it can't just be one-sided. There has to be some sort of middle ground. Now, this House Bill 389, I've read into it a little bit, and yeah, it's hurting us. But this is, the second year that it's been in place? We're on year 4. Okay, year 4, so thanks, Rick. I knew you were a good guy. Anyways, so now it's time to make the change. So, whether myself, Eric, or Rick, we'll fight for them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. What is your position on the future of the Ford Idaho Center and why? We will start with Mr. Myricks. You have 90 seconds.
Well, maybe you've seen my posts on social media, but again, talking to so many people at the doors, the sentiment that I have received is that the people want their voices to be heard. I think that the Ford Idaho Center was an optics debacle in terms of transparency. I know the intentions were good, but the way that that process rolled out was way less than par, in my opinion. We didn't even understand front-facing what CWI's position was from CWI's mouth. Can you go to YouTube right now and see the president of CWI sharing what he intends to do at the venue? Not from my research. What about OVG? We know OVG is another stakeholder. Do we know OVG on record, on a video, sharing what they plan to do with the venue, their position within the ecosystem? Haven't really seen that. So you can't really expect people in modern day times to show up at council meetings. You have to be explaining the narrative. So it's not that I think that CWI, that it's not a potential good idea. It could be a great idea. My main issue is the way the information has been disseminated to you in a way that's been clear, concise, using the technology that we have to do so. So that's my issue. Again, communication at the highest level is what I will bring as mayor of Nampa.
Mr. Buckles, what's your position on the future of the Ford Idaho Center and why?
Well, just for a little bit of clarification, CWI did not come to us. We went to them. So let's just air that out right now. Could it be a great deal? It could. Could it be a bad deal? Don't know. A lot of people are invested in this. A lot of people have a lot of emotions in this. But when it comes down to it, you know, I don't think all the information has been put out there for people to make a vote on it. The only people who really have all the information is CWI and the council with what they've talked about in their executive sessions and what they have tried to bring forward with us. So my stance on it is we don't have all the information as a community. Once all the information is out there, then we can move forward with either A, putting it on the ballot, selling it, conveying it, retaining it, one of those. But that's where it stands.
Mr. Hogelbaum, you have 90 seconds if you need it.
Yes. So the Ford Idaho Center has been a historical challenge for the city of Nampa, and as buildings age, capital renewal costs money. And I believe the city, I can only surmise from the information that's been shared, has looked at capital renewal costs looking into the future and has looked at what the citizens have said in the citizen surveys are the top two priorities, which are public safety and streets. And unfortunately, if you're going to prioritize one or two things, sometimes you have to say no to certain things. So I can only guess that the intent is to avoid future cost avoidance in order to better fund those priorities. I would like to hear more how those other priorities would be funded and to have the assurances that the utilization of the Ford Idaho Center, which is what the public is most concerned about, that they have access and utilization is retained. Now, if the city were to retain it, I want to be clear, we can't do status quo anymore. We would have to take these opportunities at significant capital renewal cost, and I would say go big to make sure that this footprint can be a viable amenity and venue for a generation into the future. Just playing catch up on deferred maintenance is not going to cut it. So we need to have a very big conversation, and I don't know what the public's priorities are. That is a possibility that we would be having that conversation and we would solicit all the thoughts and feedback of the public and try to narrow down to what the best solution is. Thank you.
All right, we have one final wrap-up question, and then I will toss it over to Mitch Minette, and we will change out the mayoral Diaz to all the council candidates. So this final one is just kind of a wrap-up, and we'll start with you, Mr. Buckholz. Why should voters choose you to serve as Nampa's next mayor? In 1 minute, please.
Gentlemen, please don't take this as an insult. If you want somebody with eyes wide open who's going to look at everything, that's where I'm going with it. Rick, he's very, very smart. He's a very, very smart man, and I think he would do great as mayor, but I'm not going to concede. But He's got the intelligence. I've got nothing bad to say about these guys other than I can't afford those suits. So, guys, when it comes down to it, just, I'm a regular guy. I'm looking at everything before I make a decision. And, these guys have been great.
Thank you. Candidate Hogaboam?
Thank you. JCPenney had a sale, $120 a suit. It actually ended yesterday, actually.
So it wasn't advertised.
But not a bad deal, $120 for a suit. Listen, as mayor, I can only vow to bring some things to the job every day, and one is my integrity, and two is humility. To be humble enough to know that there's collective wisdom in the people that you're surrounded by, and to lean on that collective wisdom from the city council and from staff. I believe in a deliberative process. The mayor, in spite of people's impressions, does not have a magic wand to just bring things into existence out of nothing. The mayor has to work through city council, has to work with staff on the day-to-day operations, and what I can bring is a willingness to work hard, ask the right questions, and work as a team to serve you, the people, to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you.
All right, Candidate Myrick, we'll wrap up with you. Why voters should choose you to serve as Nampa's next mayor in 60 seconds.
Thank you very much. I believe Nampa right now is is at an axis point in terms of what future leadership looks like. One of the things that is very important to the work that I do is really looking at what empathy looks and feels like. I'm out and I'm talking to people, doing the work, showing our community what work ethic looks like, real time. I may go door knock tonight. But it's leadership and it's vision. Mr. Hogaboam is right. Your mayor is not going to solve all of your problems. You have a wonderful council. You have a wonderful team of city employees. You have the wonderful wisdom of your current mayor. So I take all of that to heart. I lead with empathy, mobilizing young people to get involved in civic duty.
Thank you so much. And just a reminder, Mitch will have the surveys as you completed also from candidate Susie Robinson on the Nampa Chamber website. Isn't that right? Okay, what housekeeping do you want to say at midpoint?
Okay, we're going to do a quick transition. My recommendation is maybe please stay because we'll lose the crowd. Let's give them a hand. And Susie, thank you for being here. You guys want to... Okay, we're going to do a quick transition. So real quick, as they transition, if we can get the city council folks to come up. We're going to start in about 3 minutes, so let's stretch, don't move. You're going to lose your seat. There's people downstairs, there's people upstairs, and there's people here and online, so we have a full house. We'll be back in like 3 minutes.
back there where you are. I'm okay. Yeah, I feel good.
This is always okay. So we gotta do something about this, Cody. I always get stuck between these two guys. Yeah. You got it. Yep. We got this. I don't know why, but I'm extremely nervous. Are you? Yeah. What, you didn't get the endorsement? I think that it's okay. It's okay. How much time was between? You got this.
So Wendy, so I'm not the Victor when you just share mine. So just pick it up and move it and just right in front of it. So he was kind of talking away from it. So yeah, just kind of. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, just move it. Between you and me.
No, I'm kidding. I don't care.
Is this for me?
Yeah, would you please vote for Wendy? Sorry. No, I just grabbed one. I don't know why. I think I'm just extremely nervous, Randy. Oh, hello. Hello. I think I'm just extremely nervous.
Who is? You are? Oh, no. This is your group.
Well, no.
These are your folks. They're going to be on pins and needles. Oh, no. No lipstick on here, okay?
But we're sharing?
I don't know.
My flight was just moved from 10:30 tonight to midnight.
What's that?
I have to fly out tonight, so my flight was just moved from 10:30 to midnight.
We're flying back to Indianapolis for the BSU Notre Dame game, and our flight back in is on Monday. So I'm hoping I make it
Delay?
no matter what.
Pleasure to meet you.
Some major decisions might be made without me being involved, which they would probably appreciate.
I don't know that that's fair. I think you'll be there.
Okay, this will be my attempt to have us take a seat, please. Chief Huff can get out the taser if we need to. Jody's taking a seat. See, I could just start calling out people's names. Out of respect Out of respect, I will ask you to take a seat. If you have conversations, you can go downstairs or outside. Please. Okay. I just have to say this is amazing, awesome. So just for context, this is our first forum here. I only know this because there's this many chairs out there. 9 rows of 16 is 144 friends here. And then there's people downstairs, there's people upstairs, and there's over 100 people online. So kudos to Nampa. I think that's awesome. And I don't want to get myself in trouble for naming too many people or not naming. I just want to say a public thank you to every person running, both city council and mayoral, that are running. Mayor Debbie was here. I'm not sure if she left or she's having conversations. And then also to our city council friends that are in current elected positions. We know the job is not easy. We know you do it because you care about Nampa. So, and I'm sure Councilman Bills is the happiest person in the room because he's in District 3 and uncontested. So I don't even know if it'll be on the ballot or not, but that is why he's not up here in front of you, is because he's uncontested. That's why he's smiling so big today. Claudia and Teddy, you did a phenomenal job. Again, we got a lot of people online, which is awesome, and there's people downstairs. So out of respect for time, I think we're going to keep going. I'm just going to remind some friends that got here late. Restrooms right around the corner here on this floor. There are downstairs also. If you just got here, please make sure your cell phones are turned off. The word respect, respect, respect. And you did great in the first session. I know you will in the second session. But on behalf of the Nampa Chamber of Commerce, we're honored to have the candidates here. Again, the answer to the test, the goal is to educate the community so that we get more confidence in higher voter turnout in Kennedy County, specifically in Nampa. So with that, enough from me. I think I'll turn it over to Claudia and Teddy. So thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. We were told that there was some interesting online commentary going on, some trolls. I'm surprised by that. That doesn't happen. So. You know.
Also, we're very flattered that so many people are online watching. That's good citizen engagement.
Absolutely. And again, thanks for everyone for being here. Thanks to all the candidates. We appreciate it. We're really on track, so we're going to get started and keep this rolling. Again, this is city council candidates. This is for District 1 and District 5. Question number 1, 60 seconds. We have our timekeepers here on your left, so just be mindful. Appreciate you. Please tell us who you are and why you are running for city council. We will start to the far left, and candidate Cody Daffer.
Hi, my name is Cody Daffer, and I'm running for city council because I don't punish myself enough. No, I love Nampa. I'm raising a young family here, and it's important to me to create the environment that's been prevalent in Nampa's history. My wife's family's been here for generations, and I want to see Nampa continue that way. I have a huge background in real estate development on both a public and private side. I serve on the Nampa Planning and Zoning Commission, and I have a lot of experience in dealing with both sides of the coin, and I want to bring that experience to the city council. My top issues are public safety, the growth, and how that's maintained and controlled, and transparency. There are a lot of things that the mayoral candidate said that I really agree with, and I looking forward to the opportunity to serve.
Thank you. We'll continue along with candidate Debbie Skog.
Hi, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight. It's such a privilege to live in a community that we get to do this, that we get to introduce ourselves. So, and for you to know what we think. So my name is Debbie Skog. I am a Nampa native, Idaho native, excuse me, and I was born in a large farm family where I learned the value of faith, family, and hard work and helping out a neighbor. I've lived in Nampa for over 30 years, and I'm married to my husband, Bruce. We've been married for 39 years, excuse me, And we have 6 children and 12 grandchildren, and they're incredible. They're the best ever. And I'm running for city council because I love Nampa. And this is the community that I raise my kids in, and I want to keep it a safe and great place to live. I want to protect us from the woke agenda, and my time is up.
We will move on to Mr. Randy Haverfield. Please tell us who you are and why you are running for city council. 60 seconds.
Well, again, Randy Haverfield, we've been residents of Nampa for 46 years. My wife and I raised our 3 children here. We have 8 grandkids, all that live in the valley. First generation Haverfield, there's 3 generations now in Nampa. So it's been a great place to raise a family. Been able to be involved as an architect, running my own office here in Nampa. So it's being a small business owner, giving back to the community in that regard. But being on city council has been so special for me to be able to give back to the community that I love and that we've invested so much in. My wife, I'll brag on, she's been actively involved with involvement at Nampa Christian and Nampa or NNU as far as working on both campuses. So again, the investment of time back for the students that we've been able to involved with, and even in this room as I look around, people that coached in football and baseball over the years. It's just been a pleasant opportunity to see their growth.
Moving right along to Wendy Rhodes.
Good evening. Wendy Rhodes is my name, and I am a Nampa native. I was born in Nampa and the Mercy Medical Center, and actually got to watch it come down, which was really a sad day. But anyway, I have a husband of 36 years. I have 2 adult children and 4 beautiful, amazing grandkids, and 2 of them of which are at Nampa Christian. And I, too, am really excited about what the future of our Nampa is. And we can serve, we can participate, we can get involved, or we can sit back and watch it happen. And I would like to be on city council so that I can help help Nampa move forward in the direction that needs to go going forward. Thank you.
And candidate Victor Rodriguez.
My name is Victor Rodriguez. I was born in Texas, raised in Burley. Finally, somebody from out of town. I've lived here for 35 years, though, and I'm just retired from the Nampa Police Department in 2012 after a 38-year career in law enforcement. Folks, I know what the inside and out of Nampa is because I've worked the streets and I've worked the city. I know what is important for the safeguarding our community because I've been there and I've worked there. One of the 3 things that I bring to you is I'm full service for you. Being retired, I have the ability to go out and meet all the people. So one of the things that I'm really concerned about is our growth. I'll tell you about it later, and maybe you can go my direction. But thank you for being here tonight, and I'll pass it over.
And we'll move on to Sean Simmons. Please tell us who you are and why you are running for City Council, District 5.
I'm Sean Simmons. This is my first time running for office. I was born in Boise, Idaho, moved out to Nampa with my wife about 10 years ago. I'm running to defend our small town values and preserve our community for our future generations.
Can you get closer to the microphone?
Yeah, sorry. Told you it was my first time.
It's okay.
So yeah, I just like to keep what we can to preserve our way of life, what our values are as Idahoans and as Nampa citizens.
Okay, we're going to mix it up a little. Instead of going left to right, we're going to go right to left. So we'll be starting with you, Mr. Simmons, this time. And this is the one, it's a quick answer, 30 seconds. But I would like you to give a brief overview of your history in Nampa and your involvement in local organizations. Go ahead.
I've mostly just been a citizen. I haven't worked too much in Nampa, a few nonprofits. I've worked for the state of Idaho for Department of Corrections, started in that when I was 20 years old. worked for the Boise Rescue Mission, a lot of frontline work for, a lot of frontline work, sorry.
I'm going to be in so much trouble because I forgot to tell you about my wife, Delcy.
Well, you have 30 seconds to
Okay, I'll
answer.
hurry. We got married 30 years ago, so there. Okay. I'm with the Golf Commission. I'm with the Compass Finance and Board of Directors, liaison for the Board of Trustees, Transportation, Drought, Event Community, Senior Golf. I'm with the NNU Psychology Department, Board of Directors, and liaison for the Board of Trustees Library. There.
All right. Do you need the question again, candidate Rhodes?
No, I don't,
Okay.
thank you. I am currently serving on the Nampa Development Corporation Board and have served on it now 5 years, almost 6. I'm going into 6 as chair for 2. I'm currently serving also on the Nampa Chamber Board and have served on St. Alphonsus Foundation. I've served on, many community boards. I also participate in Kiwanis, have participated in Kiwanis, and I just love being involved in our community.
46 years in Nampa as a resident and business owner. Again, we've served on City Council for 12 years, Nampa Planning and Zoning Commission, Airport Commission, Nampa Development Corporation, several commission assignments by virtue of being on City Council. 20 years as far as coaching youth baseball, football, and all the way through to the varsity level at Nampa Christian. It's been a wonderful opportunity.
I have served here in the Nampa area. I've lived here for over 30 years, been involved in many nonprofit organizations such as Love Inc. Meals on Wheels was a favorite of mine. Nampa Christian Schools also served on the Canyon County Planning and Zoning Commission where I chaired meetings there. I serve at my church, Grace Bible Church. Have served Lions Club, helped with my husband on many, many extra volunteer opportunities.
Your time. And finally, we'll wrap up that question. Your history in Nampa, your involvement in local organizations, candidate Daffer.
Yeah, so I moved to the Treasure Valley in 2018. My wife and I bought our first house in 2022. My list isn't quite as long, but I've been serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission since 2022, and I've had various leadership roles at the church that I attend as well.
All right,
Thank you. All right, next question. This is a 90-second question, so a minute and a half. We'll start with candidate Skog and move to my right. What, if elected, will be your top 3 priorities for Nampa and why? Again, candidate Skog, 90 seconds.
So number 1 is public safety, because we need a safe community, and if we don't have that, then we don't have good neighborhoods, and so we need a strong police department. Clean water, functioning wastewater, maintenance of the roads and stoplights that work properly, and also minimum regulations. I believe in allowing people to have the businesses that they would like and to have the freedom to keep them going. Government is really easy for them to spend everybody else's money, and so I think we need to rein that in and be careful.
Thank you. We'll move on to candidate Haverfield.
Thought you were going the other direction.
We're mixing it up. You got to
Yeah,
pay
no,
attention.
we're keeping you on your toes.
I got my own watch going up here too. Again, there's so many things that we could focus on. Debbie did a good job of listing out several of those things, but I think fiscal stewardship is so important. It's something that the city's been recognized for 9-10 years now. Mayor, you can correct me on that. But so fiscal stewardship is important. Road improvements are also very important, especially when you're talking about public safety, providing for clean roads, not rough roads for our police department to be able to get around and protect us. And then as far as on the public safety side, there's so many things that our police department has done from a technology standpoint. We've been so blessed with good leadership, and that means a lot as far as in protecting our citizens. Now we're even to the ability, as far as with drone technology, to be able to get eyes on a site a lot quicker than trying to get a cop halfway across town. So there's so many things that we can be doing to improve the opportunity that we have to provide for public safety. You know, as far as some of the other items, I think just creating a family-friendly environment in our downtown and in our community is so important to me, especially when it comes to youth development, because they're our future.
All right, moving right along, we'll move to candidate Rhodes. What, if elected, will be your top 3 priorities for Nampa and why?
Well, as you've heard, I think we're all on the same page with our public safety, because it is important for us as a community to be able to have a safe community where we can live, work, serve, raise our family, and hopefully retire someday. That's really important. We do have excellent police department. If you haven't had a chance to look at their tour, their integrated crime center, it's really important that I think we know as a community what is being utilized on our behalf. Also, growth is important for us to be mindful of, and how we manage it, how we guide it going forward is really important. And I do believe that opening our ears and having those conversations and listening to understand is really necessary as well. And like Commissioner, I'm used to NDC, Haverfield said, the sustainability, our families, being able to have our families, and the revitalization downtown, being able to have a place where we can bring our families, where it's the heartbeat. And so I would like to see our downtown have something that draws families down, where we can attract young families, where they want to work here, stay here, raise their families here. It is important. And of course, there's always going to hear infrastructure. You're going to hear that all day long. But anyway, those are 3 of the main with an additional one. There you go.
And moving along to candidate Rodriguez, would you like me to repeat the question?
I'm good, thank you. First one, ladies and gentlemen, is public safety. The second one is growth, balanced and responsible growth. And the third one is release the tax burden of the taxpayers from the growth. Fiscal responsibility with regard to the tax burden from our taxpayers.
Thank you. And moving along to candidate Sean Simmons.
My top 3 priorities are citizen engagement, making sure that every one of our citizens are a valued stakeholder in what happens to our city and where it moves forward. You shouldn't have to guess where council is going to go on an issue. You shouldn't be surprised that they made some decision. You should have already been informed well in advance. Obviously, public safety is a big one. We want to make sure that our first responders are listened to and that they have everything that they need to do their job. Thirdly, top priority would be advocating for small businesses, farmers, frontline workers, and our families. Thank you.
And over to Cody Daffer.
So my priorities, it's tough to narrow them down, but if my top 3 would be public safety, first of all. I have a 2-year-old, and I want to see him safe. And my second would be for smart planned growth. You know, growth is coming whether we like it or not. And whether it's Nampa or Caldwell or Meridian, it's going to come to the valley. We need to be a part of that conversation, and it needs to be planned, thought out, and responsible. And lastly would be transparency and fiscal responsibility. There shouldn't be, I understand that there are times you gotta have a closed door meeting, and those are appropriate when needed, but there should always be questions and answers. There should always be something for the public. And when it comes to fiscal responsibility, you pay taxes. You should know where every one of those dollars goes, and it shouldn't be hard to find. It shouldn't be in some chart way in the back of some really long document. This should be pretty upfront. And there's a lot of different ways to apply that, but it's something that irks me personally is when you want to know something that you have paid for, right? You should be able to know, and those would be my top 3 priorities.
Okay. For this next question, we are going to dive a little deeper into Nampa as one of the fastest growing cities in Idaho. How would you approach managing growth? And your challenge here is going to be able to address that in 60 seconds. We're going to be starting with candidate Rodriguez, and we'll be going to the left. So Rhodes, Haverfield, so on and so forth. So I'll repeat the question again. Nampa is among the fastest growing cities in Idaho. In 60 seconds, tell us how you would approach managing this growth.
The bottom line is when growth increases the budget and the taxes to the community, we need to change its direction. Here's part of that, is my plan. Increase impact fees, release the burden from the taxpayers. Reducing subdivision density, rather from high, medium, and low. Designing home according to geographic and land constraints. Regulating zonal growth. Prioritizing home quality over quantity. And adjusting growth to its needs, not to the needs of the developer. The last one, implementing a plan so the taxpayers, so the new development homeowners can pay for police officers rather than us, established homeowners, pay the price. That's all.
Great. Candidate Rhodes, would you like the question repeated?
Fastest growing and how we manage it. Got
Exactly.
it.
60 seconds.
Growth is going to be a topic for years to come. You and I having children, our children having children, that contributes to growth as well as having people move into our area. I think we have to figure out where the pattern is, which way it's growing. I think we need to understand what the infrastructure is. I think we need to know the pieces, the services, the actual weight that it's putting on to our police departments, our fire departments, our emergency services. We need to have all those pieces in place before we can really understand what we need to do and where it needs to go. I do think that there's a place for low density. I really do think there's a place for workforce housing. I believe that we have to just have really a mindset that is growth is going to happen. Now we need to figure out how we're going to manage it well.
Candidate Haverfield?
I saw the time.
Oh, thank you. I'm taking notes. There's so many things that we could be focusing on as far as to control growth. But I believe that a focus on infill properties first instead of sprawl into farmland. Whenever we're annexing property outside our city limits, we're extending services that aren't there already. So I think by focusing on infill development, trying to have a willingness to look at vertical communities instead of it all just being a sprawl. For every acre of ground, as far as in the county, we could be focusing on like 4 to 6 different housing units inside the town where there's already utilities. So, and I look at compatibility of developments so that we're providing for the needs of our citizens, because right now we're not. There's a focus on one thing or another, trying to create a revenue stream that might not be as impactful as others. But impact fees, mixed use, and housing opportunities, looking at vertical communities, and my time's up.
All right, candidate Skog, again, we're one of the fastest growing cities in Idaho. How would you approach managing growth? 60 seconds, please.
All right, thank you. So the thing about growth is, yes, it is going to happen, even though we would like to say no more. We love our city the way it is, and we don't want any more change. But change is inevitable, and so we need to grow with wisdom, and that means not getting ahead of our infrastructure. And also, we need to remember that impact fees are passed on to the home buyers. They're not there, and so the home buyers end up being caught in such an expensive fee and expensive to buy a home. It's too expensive for them to buy a home, and so we end up taxing them out of buying a new home, and we're going to end up like California. So we need to be wise in how we try to do the impact fees and make that available,
Okay.
make it
Candidate
easier
Duffer?
for the homeowners.
Candidate Duffer, excuse me.
One more time, can you read the question?
Nampa is among the fastest growing cities in Idaho. How would you approach managing that growth? 60 seconds.
Okay, so there's a lot of things I can say on this, but just to start with, and on a pragmatic sense, I think that growing south, we should stop there. I don't think we should go south. But the reality of the situation is most of the land that's between Highway 16 and Chinden is already bought by land bankers. Developers already own that, and it's going to get developed. Are we going to let Nampa be a part of that conversation? You know, if we don't annex them into Nampa, they're going to go to Meridian or Caldwell. It's going to happen. Let's be a part of the conversation now. Highway 16 is going in. That's huge infrastructure. You know, that is a fantastic way to transport people through the valley. That needs to be part of our plan as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to sit in a future land use planning meeting with the Planning and Zoning Commission. That plan is your guys' opportunity to have a say in how this valley gets developed. I encourage everyone to go to every forum you can find and voice your opinion, because that's how you'll get your say in the matter.
Thank you. And we'll wrap up with the answer by candidate Simmons. How would you approach managing growth? 60 seconds, please.
I think we have to start by each one of us as a citizen and small business owner. Think about, what do we want Nampa to be like in 10, 30 years? Do we want so much growth that we've pushed out all of our own citizens and that we've brought in transplants? I'm not opposed to growth, but I've lived in Boise most of my life until the last 10 years, and I've seen what it does and what it looks like. How I'd manage that is each one of us ask and engage with one another and come up with solutions. Because if we don't actively think about that and plan for it, it's just going to pass us by.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving right along. This is a 60-second question, starting with Randy Haverfield. How do you plan to remain accessible to citizens and engaged with the community? Again, 60 seconds, candidate Haverfield.
Well, thank you for the question. My office is located at 3rd and 16th Street, right here in Nampa, a couple of blocks away from here. So I'm there at least 8 hours of the day. My wife doesn't like that, but that's where I'm at. Again, I have an online presence as far as on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, several opportunities there to reach out to me along with the city website. My cell number is even online, so thank you to Amy. She spread it across the valley. So I'm not a hard target to find because I spend a lot of time at City Hall and elsewhere here in the community. So we live here, we love Nampa, and our home is off of Lake Lowell on Heartland Drive.
Moving on to Wendy Rhodes. How do you plan to remain accessible to citizens and engaged with the community?
I think it's really important for us to be online presence. You've got the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and be able to also share my phone numbers out there, my emails out there, and talk to some of the other people who've served at a position such as City Council and find out what has worked well. Because not knowing the best way, what is the best way? Talking to the people and finding out from them what's the best way to communicate and helping understand how they want the accessibility. That's really what it's about for me. I want to know how you need to be heard. Where do you want to communicate at? And the socials, if that's what it is, then by all means, wendyfornampa.com, my Facebook page. And, I'm not supposed to say that. That's my Facebook page. Sorry if I'm not supposed to, but it's back there. Anyway, I just want to know, I want to be available as much as I can, however it is that's best for the individuals.
And candidate Victor Rodriguez.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was elected as your Nampa City Councilman in 2017, and I'm a taxpayer's friend. My commitment to your service is full-time. If you call me, I will call you back. If you leave a message, I will call you back. If you text me, I'll text you back. If you email me, I will always respond. One of the biggest things that I have to give to you is my service, 100% of it, every day, every minute. And if you don't believe me, my phone number is on my card. Thank you.
And Deshaun Simmons.
I'd staying engaged with the community is mostly like everybody else mentioned. As most of you know, City Council just gave themselves a raise. I'd like to see that we earn that, especially when it comes to being engaged with our citizens, making sure that they have a voice. I'd be open to even increasing the amount that we attend council meetings, maybe once on a Saturday. I mean, this is the 21st century. There are plenty of first line workers who have to work shift work. They have to work during the week. I'd say open up our city for all its citizens.
Over to Cody Daffer.
So I'm not going to give you much more of an answer than has been said. I've got my phone number over there. I've got my social medias. You can reach out to me if you want to. What I am going to say is that I think that communication is way more than just calling. I think that we have public forums for a reason. You know, I get a packet for Planning and Zoning Commission every other week, and they're typically from 250 to 500 pages long. And I sit there and read through every public comment that goes through there. I listen to every person that comes. You know, I encourage you to do that. That's what it's for. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us, you can blow us up on Facebook, however you want to do it. But your voices are heard. The hard part is getting you to communicate, because the civic engagement is the most important part of all this. We want to represent you, but how are we going to do that if you don't reach out to us? So we'll give you every opportunity possible, but please do.
And candidate Debbie Skog.
What was the Rush Limbaugh saying? Ditto to all of that. But also I want you to know something. I have been a student of the city of Nampa, and I've walked through the downtown area and talked to a lot of the shop owners and the business owners and that sort of thing, and I listen. And I don't just give them the political, oh, I'll check that out, yes, I'll check on that. But I want to see the changes, and I'm willing to work hard for our voters to listen to them, and not just listen, but to follow through with what concerns them, and to help find a solution for what they are facing. Because we are not working for the mayor, we are not working for each other. We're working for you, the voters, and you're the ones that we want to hear from, and that I want to hear from, and that I want to serve and follow through for you.
Great. We'll move on to our next question. This is, if you are elected, how would you balance representing the interests of your districts with the needs of the entire city of Nampa? You have 60 seconds to answer, and we'll be starting with candidate Rhodes and then going to the left.
The district versus our community. I think our district, I have a few of my neighbors in the audience, and I think our district is who we're representing. Our city's large, so we had to break it up into districts. And I think, but as a whole, I think we have to be mindful of the fact that we are representing the community of Nampa. Now, it's easier to be accessible to a group rather than the whole, but we're still accessible to everyone. So HOAs, I mean, if they'll have me, I will visit the association meetings. But I think that it's important to hear and understand what the needs are in those districts if they're different than the community, but also bring it back into the whole and talk amongst those that are elected for the other districts to understand best what the needs of our community really is. And I don't know that there's a lot of differing needs from our community or from a district that wouldn't apply to our entire community. And my time is up.
All right, candidate Haverfield?
Again, your question was citywide versus.
How do you balance representing the interests of your district with the needs of the entire city of Nampa?
Well, every night that I go home, I'm in my district, so my neighbors, the people that I live around are those folks. But for the last 12 years, I've represented the city of Nampa. I ran as far as to represent all of us because we all have the same needs and all have the same voices. There's different impacts. Our District 5 is a little bit more rural. We're on the edges there. We have the lake next to us. So the importance of trying to protect that area of refuge, wildlife is very important to us in District 5. But again, we're a part of a bigger element, and that's the full 120,000 people of the city of Nampa. So in representing, which I have for the last 12 years, the needs of the full valley, it's with a larger spectrum that I'm looking at. It's not just dialed in on one specific area. So I guess that would be my answer since my time's up.
All right, candidate Skog, would you like the question repeated?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay. How do you balance representing the interests of your district with the needs of the entire city of Nampa if you were to be elected?
Thank you. I have a very interesting district. It covers the south side of Cherry Lane, and it also wraps around by the airport and into the downtown area. So I think that's a really good overall view of what our community is. So just saying I want to be available for just my downtown area, well, that's great, but I also have some farm ground out there that I want to pay attention to as well. And so I think that goes along with being a good student of our community, which would be visiting the different districts that are with the different state districts that are within my community district. A lot of them have meetings once or twice a month, and attending those things, getting involved in some of the HOAs and listening to them, as well as being involved in Republican Women and all of the different areas where people gather and showing up.
Okay. Candidate Duffer.
So Nampa's not a big enough place to me that I feel like we would divide ourselves like that. It's hard for me to think that my district is going to think differently than District 5 or something like that, and that we're against them. I don't think that's how it's going to go. We're a small enough community that we all want to see downtown grow. We all want to see the small businesses grow. We all want to see our families have activities to go participate in. We all generally want the same things. We might all be in different stages of life, and we're all going through our own different challenges, but for the good of the community, we usually agree on all that kind of stuff. So I don't anticipate me having to decide between District 1 and the rest of the community.
Okay. Candidate Simmons, how would you balance representing the interests of your districts and the needs of the entire city of Nampa?
Well, I'm going to listen to my district, obviously the people who voted me in and elected me to represent them, but that also includes the city in general. So I would collaborate with fellow council members, discuss what issues are important to their residents, and figure out what's going to be the best solution to where we can have opportunities for all our citizens.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with candidate Rodriguez.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a breakdown of our districts. District 1 has got a mixed use, light industrial residence, retail. District 2 is both. It is residential and business. Number 3 is more residential than some retail. Number 4 is downtown, it's residential with some business. And District 5 is small retail with a lot of residential. So, but the bottom line is this. It all boils down to the same thing: public safety, culture, and environment. All those mixed in together is what makes our city. That's how I always communicate with our community. It's the same thing, the same topic, same direction. As you see most of the time that since we are councilmen, that everyone has the same direction, and those I just mentioned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, 60-second question here, starting with candidate Wendy Rhodes. In today's polarized political environment, how will you encourage respectful dialogue and maintain civility? Again, 60 seconds to candidate Rhodes.
I think it's important that as a servant of the city that we represent our citizens well. And one of the things that we need to remember is we all have an opinion and they aren't going to always match. But we need to be able to respect one another as the individuals that we are and be able to have that civil discourse, because it is important for us, especially as if were to be elected, if I'm representing you, then I need to be able to represent you well. Not only am I here representing myself, but I need to consider how would you want us to treat one another. I don't think that anyone really intends to be disrespectful. I think a lot of times it just happens because we get emotional about something. And so I think for me, I would encourage to remove the emotion from a lot of the conversations and bring the facts forward, because that's what's really important, is that we can represent our community, represent our citizens.
Time. Sorry, that
No,
was
that's okay, I'm
abrupt. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Candidate Rodriguez, would you like the question repeated?
As long as you don't cut me off, yeah.
You got 60 seconds.
Good job.
You got 60 seconds.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, stay close to your faith, stay close to your culture, stay close to your environment, and be a mentor for our community. You lead by example. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And always keep that in mind with each other when we're up meeting everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Simmons, do you have the question, or would you like it again?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Just living by the example. We need to treat everyone with dignity and respect. We're all citizens. We're all passionate about our politics. We're all passionate about our way of life. At the end of the day, we're all citizens, and we all deserve an equal say and an equal vote.
All right. Candidate Daffer.
Can I get the question again?
Sure. In today's polarized political climate, same thing, how will you encourage respectful dialogue and maintain civility?
So in my experience as both a church leader and on the Planning and Zoning Commission, I've made two realizations. People get upset when either A, they don't feel like their opinion has been heard, or B, they don't understand something. Sometimes both. And as a community leader, I think it's our responsibility to not only listen, but be an example of what it's like to be a listener. I don't have to agree with you, but it should be my prerogative to make sure I understand you and that you at least can feel like your point got across. So if I don't decide your way, we can discuss why. But you didn't feel like I just completely ignored you. Too many times people will come to planning and zoning and want to yell at us because they don't understand something, when if we had a chance to explain it to them, they might feel differently. And the other side of the coin, they feel really upset and they just want to be heard. Sometimes there's just a conversation that needs to be had.
And moving along to candidate Skog.
Thank you for the question. I am definitely what plays a role in how I treat others and how I would respond is my faith. I'm a woman of faith, and I have morals and values, and I value other people's opinions and what they feel like they need to say. I also think that a problem that we get into when we get in situations that are a little bit heated or that sort of thing is it's really common to impugn motives. And so it's very important to think the best and educate yourself and understand where that other person is coming from. And so those are the things that I would bring all together to help with the polarized political environment.
And candidate Haverfield.
Thank you. I'm a trust but verify guy. I like Ronald Reagan's analogy of being able to trust people because that's very important. But I like to verify information when it's provided to me. But that's just a part of being a man and working out of boxes, one box at a time. You want to get something accomplished, get it accomplished, move to the next box. So that's kind of my analogy as far as on focus on matters. But again, there's going to be times, and the mayor and I have even talked about agreeing to disagree. There are times where you're not going to go along with the flow. You're going to have a different opinion. So it's important, though, that you respect the people that you're working with, especially on the council level, because we're not always going to agree at times. There's going to be times where you're going to disagree, but then you move on to the next issue, respect, and as it's been said by others, the respect that you show others is very important because that's the same respect that you want to have shown to you.
Right. I apologize because my crazy way of crossing paths has sort of put our center candidates in double jeopardy, but sometimes when we maintain the same order, our end candidates are picked on a lot as the start. But Mr. Haverfield, you're going to run point on this one, and then again we'll rotate to the left. This is that tough one that has to do with the legislature, and you have about a minute. The Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. How would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
Well, I think it's very important to have communication with our legislators. There's a few in the room, and it's so important to have that level of communication so that they understand the dilemma sometimes they put us in. There's been certain House bills that have been passed that have put us in a deficit position where we're having to make very difficult decisions that deals with the tax dollars for those that live here in Nampa. So I think having an open line of communication is so key, and I think that as we move forward together, because the decisions they're making are affecting themselves as well, and so as they work with legislators from across the state, they can be representing our needs as we've been able to communicate them to them. And I'm not sure that I truly answered your question as far as how we can control the taxation aspect of it, but I think it begins with good, effective communication.
Okay. Candidate Scott, same question. Would you like it repeated?
No, thank you. So I'm really good with legislators. And I'm sorry. I just want to tell you this. I have sat through a lot of meetings in the last year, and I cannot think of one of them yet that I haven't heard about House Bill 389. House Bill 389 was voted on in 2021, which my husband did not vote for it. But I do want to tell you something. Nobody has gone to lobby legislation on this bill. And I want to get together a group of mayors, a group of council members, a group of builders, and come up with a bill to go over to the state capitol and lobby so that we can get some sort of relief on this restriction for our taxpayers, for our cities, because it is hurting our cities.
Time? Candidate Dapper, would you like the question again?
Yes, please.
The Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. How would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
Well, in an ideal world, we could just repeal taxes, but I don't think that's going to work. I actually am going to echo Debbie on that one. I have a hard time with House Bill 389, and I think that something needs to be done about it. I can't remember which candidate it was in the mayoral forum, but I'm interested in the idea of a new construction tax district. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it was an interesting idea. I think that limiting a city's ability to collect revenue, while the intentions might have been good, really had some unintended consequences, and we need to find ways to fix that.
All right. Is that final? Okay. Candidate Simmons, would you like the question repeated?
No, I think I'm all right.
Okay.
Personally, we'd have to engage and try to understand what those issues are. And there's many of them, many in this room and that are watching that are important to you. We need to hear what the community needs. And as your representative, I would make sure that I would advocate to you on the state level wherever I need to. This is a great community, and I will represent you in a way that you could be proud and that you can trust that I have your best interests at heart, because I'm not a politician. I don't care whose toes I step on or what process I have to break. That's my time.
Candidate Rodriguez, would you like the question again?
No, ma'am, I'm good, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some of the strongest, most vocal, most active legislators in Idaho, with District 10, District 12, and District 13. We rely on them, and I'm going to rely on them to do this, to release a tax burden of growth and of our sales tax. Any problem that we can come up with, we will meet with them. I will meet with them. In fact, I want to talk to you about 2 reasons why. One, modify 389. It allows us to use more taxes, more construction fees, so you doesn't come back to you. I'm going to talk to my legislators. And Debbie, thank you for saying that, because I agree with you 100%. The other one is this: modify impact fees, so that we, the city, don't have to pay those impact fees as much as developers do. I'm going to push that, so that's my main goal with meeting with our legislators.
All right, we'll wrap this up with Candidate Rhodes. Would you like the question repeated?
Yeah, just for clarification,
Okay.
please.
The Idaho legislature determines how cities can collect revenue. How would you work with state lawmakers to ensure Nampa can meet the needs of its residents?
I do agree that it is very important for us to have relationships with our legislators, and understanding maybe what the bill is or what it is that they're trying to pass ahead of time. I actually, one of the questions on our survey or questionnaire was not this but similar, and I really think it's important for us during session to possibly have some roundtables, or at least have some breakdown from the legislators during that time to understand better, so we can approach them and we can help them understand how it feeds into our economy. HB 389, I don't know that it was designed to create a problem as budgets for cities, but when you're limited to 8% growth and you have 11% growth, you just lost 3% of that opportunity. So I do think it's important for us to understand, and for them to have that, or for us to have that line of communication open with them, so that we can confidently work together.
Thanks. Next question, 90-second question, starting with candidate Victor Rodriguez. What is your position on the future of the Ford Idaho Center and why? 90 seconds.
I know y'all smiling out there, so. This is owned by the city of Nampa taxpayers. You do not give taxpayers' property away for free. What you do is you manage that and determine where the people want it to go. You're the one paying the taxes. You're the one that's supporting it. You have the say-so. My direction has always been this: give the community an opportunity to say, number 1, do you want to sell it? Number 2, do you want to lease it? Number 3, do you want to keep it? If you do keep it, then let's look at maybe determining what's the best solution for operating that facility or that entertainment center. Is it to increase the entertainment or the food service? Well, here's the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to come back to you. You have already voiced your opinions. 80% of the people that have come to the council has said, no, keep it, let's work it. But when you are the ones paying the taxes, we have to follow what you say. Me, personally, I can't give it away. It doesn't work like that. Thank you.
Candidate Simmons, what is your position on the future of the Ford Idaho Center and why?
With the Ford Idaho Center, and respect to anything that involves this much money and is part of our city and our community, I feel that council should always come up with a couple viable solutions and then present those to the citizens and let them decide through representative democracy. That's normally how it works. Like, you elect us and we make these decisions. When it was something that big, I think we should do the groundwork to educate and then let the citizens decide on a ballot. Thank you.
Candidate Daffer.
With the Idaho Center, I think that it highlights something that, to me, I've felt very strongly about for a while now, and that's that civic engagement I mentioned earlier. As mentioned, I think it was candidate Myrick's that mentioned that how it came out to the public and how rough that was and how we didn't have much time on it. That's the kind of thing that I like to change. Like, you don't want a surprise like that. I know that if you talk to any of the commissioners, they will tell you they've been talking about it for a long time, but the public hasn't. So I will echo that I think it should be on a ballot, and I don't think that it should be something that 6 people should decide. If we put it on a ballot to raise a levy, I would personally vote to raise that levy. I don't feel convicted in that decision enough to impose on everybody without their own vote. And if that levy failed, I would do what I could to keep the building in the community, even if that meant conveying it. That building is too important to our economy to let it go. My fear, if we sold it, would be that it would get torn down and turned into a business complex. I would hate to see that.
Candidate Skog.
Thank you. The Idaho Ford Center has been quite an issue, hasn't it, over the past few months. It's very sad to me that it's become such a dividing thing in our community. And it's a place where a lot of motives have been impugned upon other people, and that's just not a good thing for us. My personal position on it is that it should be put on the ballot, and that the citizens of Nampa should be allowed to voice their opinion on what they would want done with it. Simply because you don't want me coming and selling your home or giving away your home because it needs a new roof. It's not right. And it needs to be open for the public to make that decision.
On to candidate Haverfield.
Did you say I had 90 minutes or 90?
90 minutes.
It's 90 minutes. Yes, it's a 90-minute. 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. From the beginning, 12 years ago when I ran for council, Ford Idaho Center was, well, it was called the Idaho Center then. It was the main topic of consideration because of the subsidy that the city was paying. It's about $1.5 million plus a year, and that was the accepted standard, never expecting it to ever be in the black. We worked hard over the last 12 years to get to the point where it's net neutral, or has actually, depending on who you're talking to, has created a fund balance of about $5 million. I am of the mindset, and it takes a willingness of the full council to make a determination, but of keeping it, coming up with the revenue stream that I believe that we can to fund its ongoing operations and maintenance. I don't think it's that far of a reach. It's just a willingness to partner to do that. I think from the beginning, if I would have rolled it out differently, if it had been my choice, it would have been a joint venture cooperative agreement with CWI, looking at the strengths of both institutions being able to come together, and then even working with VRT as far as to provide busing. We have certain events each year that have more of a parking need. working with VRT, that we could be providing that just like they provide for the BSU campus with the main games as far as there. So I believe the mention of home ownership as something that can be compared to. You wouldn't give away your home after paying it off 25 years later. You'd look at it as your asset, and it's the asset of the stakeholders, which are the true taxpayers of Nampa.
Time. And lastly, Wendy Rhodes.
This is such a fun topic. We've heard it, town halls, we've had opportunities to be engaged. We've heard 3 differing opinions. We can keep it. I'm not sure what that looks like or how. We can convey or we can sell. We need to be mindful, I think, first of all, should city own entertainment venues? Should city be competing with private business? We have that to consider. And if the answer is yes, okay, then let's talk about how do we keep it as a taxpayer. I've lived here for those 24, 27 years that it's been built. I've talked to those that were originally on the Urban Renewal Board, and they agree with the conveyance. I'm still gathering information. I don't know the right answer because I haven't yet heard a really good option for keeping it. If we had the ability to create those revenue streams, why haven't we done it over the last 24 years? I don't know. I think that if that is an option, then it shouldn't, I'm not sure why it's now that we're talking about that. Selling it, deed restrictions, if you don't know what those are, that limits us to what we can, or what someone who purchased it can do with it, and the Stampede and the horse park has to be considered, and I'm out of time, but there's that.
Thank you. All right, well, this is the final question, so you get to spend 60 seconds talking about why voters should choose you to serve on the Nampa City Council. And we will start with candidate Skog, and we'll go to the left to candidate Daffer, and so on. 60 seconds, please.
Thank you. So first of all, I've been a member, or I've been in the city of Nampa for many, many years. I've had the opportunity to raise my children here, to be involved in this community, to be a student of this community. And Nampa's just not a place where I live. It's a community I love, and I want to keep it the Nampa that we know. I want it to be a safe and great environment for my grandchildren to be raised in. And it's a part of our lives. My husband and I have had a business here for many years, and we have served in this community longer, I think, than my opponent has been alive, maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
But it's just a part of who I am. And I want to be involved in this community and continue to be involved in serving and making sure we stay safe.
Thank you. We'll go to candidate Daffer, why voters should choose you for council.
So I'm going to I view this as a job interview, because that's pretty much what this is, and then be a little shameless in this and just tell you why I think you should vote for me. You know, I have the education and experience needed for this role. I have the disposition to be able to listen to people that disagree with me, find common ground, and make those choices. I've served on the Planning and Zoning Commission. I understand a lot of the projects that are already coming through the city. I know where the city's intending to grow, and I have ideas and thoughts on how it should grow. I'm not just some kid trying to get attention, right? I'm up here because I know what I'm talking about. I know how to be that community leader. You know, we need people that aren't just deciding on a council. We need people who are examples. You know, I'm not just a vote. I'm a person that I hope that my son would emulate. I want people to look up to and respect our council. That's it.
Thank you. Candidate Simmons?
I'm running a grassroots campaign. I'm not taking donations. I'm not actively looking for endorsements. and I have no attachments to special interests that would sway me one way or the other. My only interest is representing this city, which I love and many of you do, and I'm doing this. It makes it harder to get the word out. That's why I appreciate you guys hosting this. I'd just like to follow up with, if elected, you can rest assured that Nampa's interests will come first always before any outside interests or political agendas. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Rodriguez, would you like the question repeated?
Ladies and gentlemen, I listen. Citizens' voices come first. Growth must be balanced and responsible. Existing residents should come first over development. New growth should not be funded by taxpayers. Property management and accountability versus taxes. Preserve and protect Nampa's character. I know Nampa better than most of the other candidates because I've worked in the city of Nampa. Also, I have no conflicts of interest. I want to have a balanced and responsible growth, and most of all, infrastructure catch up. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored and proud to announce that my campaign is funded and supported by people I have met, or people I have helped, or that I have worked with this last 4 years. And I have to tell you, not one of my contributors is from the growth industry, real estate, or developers. Thank you.
All right, Candidate Rhodes, why voters should choose you for Nampa City Council in 60 seconds.
I love Nampa. I love Nampa, and I want to serve Nampa to the best of my ability. I have been able to participate in different committees, in different civic clubs, and it's been a privilege to be able to get to know a lot of the citizens as well as being a part of this chamber. I do feel like that is being directed at me as far as special groups. I was raised in the building industry. Those are my friends and my family members, and the support that I'm given is by friends, people that know me, like me, and trust me, and that's important. And I listen to understand, and I listen to make sure that I am able to respond rather than react. I think it's important for us as citizens to represent Nampa well, and if elected, I hope to do that.
And finally, Candidate Haverfield.
Thank you. I've said this to my wife several times now. If it comes down to how many yard signs are out, I lose. I just don't have that many out. But, you know, as far as serving Nampa has been an honor and a privilege for the last 12 years. I've served with 2 mayors and almost 20 different council members over that time frame. Institutional knowledge is what I bring. My background of experience in land use and land use planning, rural and urban, serving on the Arts and Historic Preservation Commission along with the Nampa Development Corporation. What I can bring is a context that few can, because it's important that we have people that look at detail. And that's what I do on a daily basis in the buildings that I design and in the projects that I work on. So it's been a tremendous pleasure for me to be involved and to serve the community as long as the community would have me. And thank you.
Okay, could you guys imagine telling about yourself in 90 seconds? I'm just gonna say this. I love Nampa because we have vulnerable people that are willing to serve. I said this at the beginning, I want to end with this. Thank you to all the candidates, both city council and mayoral. Also, thank you to our city council friends that are here tonight, and Mayor Kling, thank you for that. And then also to the families. Sometimes they get forgotten of those that are running. So thank you to the families. Again, Brad Ellsberg was telling me this was on live stream. There was over 100 plus people. Packed house. There was 144 chairs. I know that because we put them out. And then a packed house. In about an hour or two, it'll be, it was recorded, and it'll be on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to push this out to the business community to get this message out to as many people as we possibly can. Again, our goal was hopefully you get to know the candidates a little bit better, them being able to tell their story, and then you will go and vote November 4th. So this will be on our election page for the nampa.com. Make sure you go to that, scan the QR code. Again, Jill has done a phenomenal job. This page is amazing. It has everything you can think of on there. Thank you to our friends at the city. Claudia and Teddy, you got us out. And think about it, we did 9 candidates in 2 hours, so we did the mayoral. Yes. Thank you, thank you. So with that, again, everybody's appreciated. Go tell your friends and family. My mic's dead. Must be time to go. You guys are appreciated. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Cody, I'll vote for you. No. Sorry.